Just going to quickly test my audio over this to see if it's working. Okay, it is. Just going to quickly test.
So high, I get all my feel for you, because I'm starting to think that it might just be my imagination. Don't own me, don't hate me, just because I love you, it makes me feel warm, like a dip full of sunshine. Don't you tell me there's something up running in the hills, so the grass and trees of sunshine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Old School Wrestling, the 82 Wrestling Classic. Hope you like the intro videos. First one by Mike Lane, I kind of messed up, didn't have the sound on for some reason. And the second one by me, to hype up tonight's 82 Wrestling Classic. So, here we are. We are in the midst of it. I think it's worth pointing out some of our friends that you can see on the side of the stream tonight. So you have Power to the Smarks, Mad Smarty Plays, Caesar, Fast_Lane86, Alex Smiley Plays, and unfortunately cut off by a man with a controller. I'm going to say that's my hand, Matty, because hopefully it's annoying, it's Matty. You can find all these guys on Twitch. Please do drop them a follow. I'm sure they will sincerely appreciate it. And don't worry, Matty, next time I stream, I'll switch these around so that, I won't need to actually rely because the corner thing won't be there. So we'll be okay. It'll be all good in the hood, Matty. Don't cry. It's fine. No tears. No tears, only dreams. It is a conspiracy. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Oh, no cursing. For one whole minute, I'm not allowed to swear. Whatever will I do? It'll be fine, lad. It'll be fine. So for those of you who are new, I'm not messing around on this one, guys. I'm sorry. This isn't a normal stream. You should have saved the sing mode. I'll get you back on the sing mode. Don't worry. I'm hydrating. I've got a bottle of water, but I'll get you back. Because I'm supposed to make a song up about the person who did that. And the thing is I'm not allowed to swear for a minute. So, for those of you that don't know what we are or have no idea, we are a creative writing wrestling website. You can find us at weareosw.com. That's my baby. It has been for 6 years. Other than my actual baby who's in bed asleep upstairs. So it's essentially a competitive writing hobby that us nerdy little folk play. Tonight's show, we've travelled back in time to 1982 for the Wrestling Classic. It's a different kind of show than we've ever seen in OSW. For the starters, it takes place in 1982. So without further ado, I think we should get on with things a bit. Are you ready, guys, to hit up the Wrestling Classic? Drop some R's in the chat for me. Are we missing anybody? Do I need to go and rouse anybody? I'm not sure who we may be missing. Is Chris in? Chris is in. Is Dawson in? I don't think so yet. Gray's in. I'm not sure if Rob is here or Tommy. Send a couple of messages out just to get things moving. Poor old doors. Okay, well, I'm gonna get this thing started. Just get my phone set up because that is how I will be speaking to you all, seeing what you say on the old blower. All right, so our opening segment is called "Welcome to the Wrestling Classic." And we start the same way every OSW show starts. It might be in 1982, and it might be at the Roll-Up Casino, but we're starting the same way with a click. And static covers the screen as a play symbol appears in the bottom right-hand corner. Now you're gonna get your sing mode, Brian, because I'm not gonna just talk. I'm not gonna talk this, mate. I'm gonna sing this. Rising up, back on the streets. Did my time, took my chances. Now in my head, I've got the Dean Winchester thing where he's scratching his arm, sitting in the Impala. But, Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. There you go. Cannot sing for a lick, but you got it. You got your sing mode. As Eye of the Tiger blares out into the casino, the fans on the floors go absolutely wild, and why would you not? It is Eye of the motherfucking Tiger. Their cheers barely drown out the sound of slot machines bleeping and playing out, but that's exactly what you'd expect from this Las Vegas Strip casino. Our cameras pan carefully around the room, where a wrestling ring sits in the middle of a small barriered off area, leading to a curtain that heads backstage. I see Alex loves it. At ringside, two men sit ready to welcome us to the show. These men are Arnie Ventura and Tommy Gunn. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Roll Up Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's Saturday night and time for the 1982 Wrestling Classic. I'm Arnie Ventura, and alongside me is Tommy Gunn. You could at least sound excited about it, Arnie. This is the biggest show of the year, and we have a crowd as big as your fucking bold spot. Arnie looks at him, to which he stammers back to a point. What I mean is, there's no night on the calendar quite like this. The Hammer takes a swig of whiskey from his flask, curling up his lip as he finishes. In the main event tonight, the undefeated Dante Wallace puts his title on the line against the man that's been chasing him as fast as he can, the Rapid Man, Robbie Lane. He might be chasing, but Dante is waddling, and Lane has been struggling to keep up. He's been quite literally flattening the competition, folks. Lane is the next in a long line of challenges that the hungry man has devoured. But before we get there, we've got a word that our backstage interviewer is standing by with Billy Walters. Over to you, dickhead. Yeah, I wanted to add some, like the early days of eFedding when this is the way it used to be formatted instead of the story way that we write it, so I've changed it up for the show. You'll find I've had to convert all segments into this format so that it all feels very old eFeddy too for us. Our second segment is called A World of Wonder, and we zap. Before we see anything, we witness Sigil and the Chief appear before our eyes. They're in 1982 and seemingly invisible to those around them. They stand and watch from a distance as a man straightens out his tie and prepares for an interview. Just then, into frame struts Wonder Boy Billy Walters. Immediately, you can tell the interviewer becomes nervous, readying himself with a microphone. His name? Errol Flint. I'm standing backstage with Wonder Boy Billy Walters, who tonight puts his entire career on the line, if not more, against TerrorVision. No one has quite seen a monster like Terror in this business, and he's made your life miserable for many months. How do you plan to defeat him? The Wonder Boy looks at him with disgust. Are you kidding me? My God, is it any surprise that no one around here likes or respects you, kid? What are you, 30? I'm 33, yes. And this is how you choose to provide for your family? Look, son, I've been wrestling men and monsters since you were suckling at your mother's teat. Woo! I'm still doing it now, styling all the way to the bank whilst you're doing the job of a woman. Remember, this is 1982, folks. It's not me being sexist, it's 1982. Are you wearing panties, kid? You ought to be. I'm the Wonder Boy, and there's nothing I can't do when I step inside those ropes. See some marking out for Flint in the chat, that's what I'm talking about. But the last time you faced TerrorVision, he destroyed you. That immediately gets the ire of Waters, who grabs Flint by the scruff of the neck. Destroyed me? Do I look destroyed to you, Flint? Tommy Gunn isn't impressed. How dare he talk to Billy Waters like that? I told you, Arnie, this guy is a dickhead. He tosses him backward as hard as he can, watching as he falls over. Tonight, I'm done playing games. TerrorVision, you've been at my throat since we met, and it's about time I change the channel. Billy is about to walk off, but first stops to look down at Flint, who's scrambling on the floor in fear. Get a real job, kid. He then smirks and whips out his penis. Piss off. We quickly span away to behind him, watching as he covers poor Errol Flint in urine. The Wonder Boy is fired up tonight. TerrorVision may have a fight on his hands, and it's one that I personally wanted to see for quite some time. Waters takes his leave, and we return to both the Chief and Sigil. What was that? Sigil queries. You don't know the history of old school wrestling, do you? The Chief posits, with a scoff. Errol Flint started old school wrestling at the age of 66, but before that, he worked as an interviewer here as a roll-up. The collector folds his arms. I don't understand the relevance, he complains. The Chief smiles. You will. And we cut. The 80s were a wild time. Well, folks, there it is. So, you're probably getting the gist now of why we're back in the 80s. We're back in the 80s for Errol Flint, the man who started old school wrestling. By the end of the night, all your questions will be answered. You will understand why we're back in 1982, you'll understand how everything came to fruition. What it all means, you'll get it. But first, we have a segment called The Master of Everything. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold. A crudely hung banner heralding the master of Jim-Jitsu creates a backdrop. Jim-Jitsu stands in front of it, in his customary white gi, flanked by two men in black, heads bowed and fists clasped together. The master lifts his head and smiles at the camera lens. The path to becoming a master of the sacred style of Jim-Jitsu comes through hard work and, of course, one small payment. He breaks his pose, moving into a fighting stance. Thanks very much for the follow, David Hill. I think that's Stoner, isn't it? Stoner, you may have to wait 10 minutes before you can chat in the thingy, buddy. Unfortunately, there's a 10-minute new follower break before anybody can talk, just to stop trolls. But I'm pretty sure David Hill is Stoner. So, yes, I made it cover the whole screen because I figured, fuck it, I'm trying to make this look like it's on TV. So, whatever. It's as easy as all three men punch forward in unison. 1, a second step, and a second punch. 2, the trio kick forward with straight kicks that come an inch in front of the camera. For dramatic effect, of course. 3. Tex America can count too. I once counted to infinity. Twice, says Tex, walking into the scene. Tommy Gunn, nah, not this guy. I can't believe anyone likes this idiot. A figure bursts onto the scene, interrupting the video, much to Jim-Jitsu's displeasure. Cut! The film crew for Jim-Jitsu's new VHS scramble, and Jim faces Tex America. You ruined my shot. That was our 5th take and we had it perfect. Tex America only needs 1 take, because Tex America doesn't mess up, he messes you up. Jim-Jitsu adopts a fighting stance, calling for the camera to roll, but Tex America is more interested in verbal jousting. Paper beats rock, rock beats scissors. What beats all 3? Jim-Jitsu looks confused at the question, but Tex is, of course, happy to elaborate. Tex America. That doesn't even make sense, the buffoon, says Tommy Gunn. He's Tex America, Tommy. He always makes sense. What? Jim-Jitsu still looks perplexed as Tex tips his hat and exits stage left. We know you're here, David. We do know you're here. All right, so it's worth noting that segments for this show aren't based on who wins the match. I've chosen the segments I feel best build the match. If a segment builds the match really well, it's gone into the show. So it's worth noting that. And now we have the Chuck Norris Invitational Final. Tex America versus Jim-Jitsu. Arnie says, I've been looking forward to this one, folks. This is the Chuck Norris Invitational. Tommy, and there's the man himself, stood by the trophy in the middle of the ring. Chuck Norris is joining us, folks. Tex America and Jim-Jitsu stand in their respective corners, knowing they're just moments away from that trophy. Inside the ring, Chuck Norris gives both competitors a firm nod before heading to the outside. He's going to watch this one from ringside. The bell sounds and both men begin circling one another. Tex strikes first, nailing a jab, followed by another. But Jitsu quickly focuses himself into a crouch, ducking the blow. Leg sweep, America jumps it. Ooh, a cagey start. Look at Norris, he hasn't even smiled. You just know he wants in there. Both men lock up, Jitsu nailing a judo throw that tosses Tex over onto the canvas. His moustache shakes with the ferocity. Jim rushes forward, leaping a leg sweep attempt by the spinning America. High knee, blocked. Tex kicks out, nailing him right under the jaw with a super kick. Cover him, says Arnie. Jesse Ventura, you can see it. 1, a 2, but a kick out. Jitsu kicks out. America gets back to his feet and grabs Jim, pulling him back up too. Knees to the midsection, fast knees. Jim, though, blocks every single one. Force push. He pushes Tex backwards. Jim-Jitsu throw, belly-to-belly suplex, and America bounces off the canvas and gets back to his feet, wobbling. Jim-Jitsu chop to the head. No, America ducks it. Lethal combo, body blow, palm strike, elbow strike, throat chop, elbow body strike. It's never ending. Uppercut, knee to the body, hip toss. That felt like it happened in slow motion. Try writing it on. What? I write the roll-up newsletter. Yeah, America looks towards Norris, who gives him a nod and tells him to finish it. Jitsu gets back to his feet after the never-ending combo. The foot of Texas, running bicycle kick. Nailed it. That's it. No one has ever kicked out of that. We have a Chuck Norris Invitational winner. He covers 1, 2, 3. Tex America wins. The lethal weapon is Chuck Norris Invitational champion. Chuck enters the ring with the trophy, waiting for Tex to get back to his feet. They share a nod, and then Chuck Norris lamps Tex America with the trophy. Oh my fucking god. He just nailed him with it. The trophy has broken in half. Norris bends over, grimacing. There's only one lethal weapon, and that's me. When God said, let there be light, I said say please. I can't believe it. Did Chuck Norris just knock out Tex America? That's not Chuck Norris. That's God. The winner and Chuck Norris Invitational Champion is Tex America. I did break the fourth wall a bit when I wrote it. Yeah, I kind of had to. It's just I loved when Hayden did the moves. It just seemed like that lethal combo was never ending and ridiculous. And as I wrote it, I was like, for fuck's sake, is he ever going to stop doing a move that I don't have to write down? So I just played that into the just played that into the match. So yeah, the winner I think is Chuck Norris. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. And if you're new to the stream and you're watching for interest, thanks very much for coming. Please don't forget to drop a follow. Thank you very much for coming along and giving us a watch. We're heading into a backstage segment now called Duet. We join superstar Ziggy Solo as he's strutting through the casino. That's a point. Where the hell is Jordan? I better give Jordan a quick shout just in case he didn't know we were here. Is it really? Oh, that's amazing. Well, I'm glad I mocked it then, because I watched that little fight sequence the other day just for shits and giggles, and oh my god, was it terrible. Like, it was so bad. Anyway. So, Chef Getchum. Hey, Ziggy. Comes a call off camera. I've been trying to find you all evening. If it's a fight you're after, Getchum, Ziggy warns, throwing up his dukes. No, I want an interview. Think about it. World exclusive. Channel 4's most popular anchorman interviews America's greatest rock star. The only scoop you're getting tonight, Getchum, is an exclusive ass whooping from the superstar. Easy there, Zigzag. I'm not looking for a confrontation. I'll tell you what. If you give me an interview for Channel 4 now, I'll join forces with you later to take Tyson down. What do you say? A duet? Ziggy ponders. I'm not really down with the novelty acts. Hurts the credibility, but tonight I could make an exception. Ziggy and Chef are interrupted by belly laughing off screen. In steps indestructible Tyson Evans, rollicking. What have we got here? Tyson bellows. Business is about to pick up. Ugh, this guy, I need a paracetamol by the time he's finished shouting. Hold on, lie down so I can recognize you, Tyson bellows. I've got a worldwide exclusive for you, newsman, Tyson continues before yanking Getchum's microphone out of his hand and snapping it in half. They call that a foretelling. Tyson quips with another hearty laugh. Chef frowns. That's not cool, man. That ain't rockin', but Ziggy doesn't finish his sentence because Tyson rips away his guitar and slams it over the superstar's head. I hate rock and roll. Ziggy is sparked out. Getchum gulps as Tyson leaves. These three square off later tonight, and poor Ziggy just got his bell rung. And poor Chef needs a microphone. Maybe we can have a whip round. And then we cut. My name's Tyson Evans. We're heading to a segment called The Chase. We start off with Arnie and Tommy at ringside. We're mere moments away from the Tag Team Championships, and folks, we're going to show you what's been happening in recent weeks as these two dominant teams traded shots. We've got back-to-back footage, don't we? That's right. Recorded earlier, the sounds of revving engines fill the air as cameras catch what appears to be a high-speed chase heading towards the arena. A leopard print Corvette speeds towards the garage entrance with a beat-up old pickup truck close behind, and hanging out the passenger side window with a pitchfork in hand, the trailer park princess. You goddamn cousin stealers! Hit the gas, Joey! I should have said that more feminine, but I didn't. My bad. The Corvette easily begins to outrun the truck, skidding into the parking garage and coming to an abrupt stop in front of the pillars. The doors blaring dance music as Dick Fury and Dr. Drive both topple out of either side. Freudian, yeah. Dick wipes a white substance from his nose and he gets to his feet looking at Drive, who shouts, I told you they were waiting for us. Dick Fury doesn't have an off switch. It's not my fault that his wife, daughter, wait, was it his cousin? Maybe all three? In their banter and Dick Fury's own drug-fueled haze, they seem to have forgotten about the truck speeding their way. Dr. Drive pulls Dick out of the way as Joe and Muffy crash into the Corvette and slam it into a wall. My car! Did you have insurance? Oh, the fuck is insurance? Dick looks to Drive in confusion before the good doctor drags him away, telling him to book it as Muffy and Joe get out of their truck. Damn it, Muffy, they's getting away. Let's get him, Pa! I thought we was cousins! And when we cut, only to go straight into the next segment, called Revenge, where Arnie continues. It didn't end there though, did it, Tommy? Oh no, outside the roll-up earlier tonight, driving Dick furiously, got a little revenge. Let's check that out. Outside the roll-up casino, recorded previously, with the interviewer desperately trying to keep the microphone near his face, all day, all night, Dick Fury stares deep into the camera. Like Dick Fury said earlier, this suddenly, cutting through after mid-thrust, comes a handle from off-screen, knocking him down to the floor. Cotton Eye Joe steps into view, smiling as a heavy-looking rake hits the floor. Behind him, Muffy steps out of her travel trailer, joining in the beatdown. A smirk on Dick Fury's face seems to push the pair to inflict more hurt, before they're interrupted by a shrill whistle. Hey guys! It's Dr. Drive, stood next to Joe's tractor, and jangling between his finger and thumb are the keys. Joe is livid, checking the chain he usually keeps them on to find them missing. The ladies have always said Dick is good with his hands, Joe, and Dick ain't about to let them down tonight. Dick stole the keys. The smirk he had widens to a full-blow grin. Joe and Muffy race over towards the tractor, but it's too late. Dr. Drive starts the ignition and drives towards them. They scatter, and Dr. Drive uses the gap to plough the tractor straight into the side of the trailer. Muffy is near pulling her hair out with rage. Dr. Drive hops out of the tractor, checking on Fury. Are you okay? Even trailer trash like that could never keep this dick down, good doctor. The dick always rises. And we cut to the match, naturally. No, he's not here to hear his sexual segments. Let's go and see what fun I've got to read in the match. I'm not sure who wrote it. But there's every chance it's going to be amusing. We have a hell of a tag team contest about to start here. The current tag team champions driving Dick furiously, going head to head against Park Life, and the feud between them has been bloodthirsty to say the least. Dick Fury isn't a man used to getting turned down, but Muffy has done just that, repeatedly refused to go all day, all night with Dick Fury. And that kind of pent-up aggression leads to bad things for a man. You think if oh, I don't think so, but you never know. The bell sounds as all four competitors rush at one another in the ring, exchanging hard lefts and rights that Park Life get the better of, as both Muffy and Cotton Eye Joe wind up hard, double windmill uppercuts. Park Life going wild here, taking it out on the two men who've been hounding them for months as the referee finally gets some order here. Cotton Eye Joe and Dr. Drive starting us off properly. Cotton Eye continues to be a house on fire as he delivers a few stiff rights and lefts to the fitness fiend, who stumbles a bit before beginning to slip and slide through Joe's shots. The doctor feeling alive here, old Cotton Eye Joe doesn't know where to go to keep up this offense. But you can't win a match if you just dip, dodge and dive everywhere, even though Arn has more offense than that. Dr. Drive leaps up, trying for a head scissors, but Cotton Eye catches him, throwing him off before trying for that big-ass headbutt. Drive manages to split underneath, rolling backwards as he tags in Dick Fury. And in comes Tommy's favourite wrestler, the swinging Dick Fury, and he's already up to his old shenanigans with that humiliating eye rake. Call it like it is, Arn. He just delivered the money shot all over Cotton Eye's face. And just like any good old American man, Cotton Eye Joe don't want no spunk from another man. Cotton Eye is furious, unloading on Fury with hard lefts and rights, backing him into a neutral corner as he pounds him down to the floor. The referee trying to pull Cotton Eye Joe away, distracting him. Slide kick to the balls from Dick. Cheap shot by Dick Fury here as we have a roll-up. Oh, that is just obscene. Fury rolls Cotton Eye up into a schoolboy, stopping down as if like he's fucking Joe in the power driver position. 1, 2, but Cotton Eye kicks out in a fury. Joe gets up, but gets a paintbrush slap to the jaw before Dick rushes to the ropes, bouncing off before dropping down with a throat thrust, stuns Cotton Eye Joe before he's then whipped into the ropes. Here it comes on, all aboard the Bukkake train. Next stop, Dick City. Cotton Eye Joe gets his lights taken out by that huge big boot as he stumbles out of the corner, but he doesn't fall to the mat, stumbling into his corner instead as Muffy tags herself in. She leaps forward, taking Dick by surprise with a leaping tackle, rolling through as she tries for a running drop kick that Fury dodges, grabbing her in midair and slamming Muffy down with a massive spinebuster. That could well be it here. Oh, this is just ridiculous here. Just Pin the poor girl already. Muffy is trying to get to her feet as Dick just plants one hand on her back while thrusting forward rhythmically back and forth. Come on, this is brilliant, Arn. It's all just a bit of good fun. Good old Big Dick psychology here. Muffy is furious as she tries to buck Dick off her, rearing back with a foot as she manages to kick him right in the balls. Fury stumbles over his feet, cradling his junk in his hands. Muffy, seeing her opportunity, climbing quickly up to the top rope. Open mouth, the axe handle smash hits hard, but Muffy ain't done as she looks for the finishing blow. Will Muffy steal your cousin here? Only if I can watch the aftermath, says Tommy Gunn. Muffy heads up top once more, sizing up the prone Dick Fury for a moment before leaping off. Still, your Dick is on his feet, and he grabs Muffy in midair. Dick's got the princess there, the Atomic 69 as he drives all the air out of that trailer park box. Dick Fury plants Muffy with a big tombstone power driver, and Muffy is out cold as he drops down into a very suggestive pinfall, and the referee counts. Parents, put your kids to bed as this match just turned very adult-orientated with that borderline criminal pinfall. 1, 2, 3, criminal or not on, it got the job done as Driving Dick Furiously are still the tag team champions. Well, that was one hell of a disturbing match. Thanks for that, Zach. Fucking hell. Makes us all sound like weirdos. No, not at all. Oh, alright. We're heading back to a segment with young Errol Flint called Obligations. The Office, and we're private and off camera. The Roll Up Casino's main office overlooks the casino floor, and it's where the house's representatives take charge of proceedings. He stands at the glass window, looking out over the floor. Millions of dollars. That's how much we're making out there tonight. 1982 has been our most successful year. House turns to face Flint. It's not the house you guys are thinking of, just in case. This is the house, as in the owner of the casino. I know. I just can't do it anymore. I'm miserable. You signed a 10-year contract with us, Errol. That's not something the house takes lightly. Flint stands up. Hands on his hips. Then sue me. I'm finished being the whipping boy for your roster house. Every single week of my life I come to this rotten cesspit and it's breaking my soul. I just can't stand being kicked from pillar to post every single week by your roster. That isn't how it works. House nods to the door, in which Sergei Kolarov now stands guarding. Flint gulps, backing away. You owe us money, and when you signed the contract, you made a deal to give that back over a period of 10 years. You said you wanted to be a promoter, didn't you? Errol reluctantly nods. Then take a seat. There's only 2 ways out of this contract. You either complete the 10 years, or Sergei takes you out back and Sergei crush your puny neck. Flint takes a seat. We pan backwards to see Sigil and the Chief watching once again from inside the room. He's trapped here, Sigil says, crossing his arms. The Chief nods. We're getting closer to what I want to show you, but you need to see it all. You need to see exactly what happens next, he announces. It isn't for the faint of heart. And we cut. Okay. Lena, if you're still here, I think what we spoke about earlier is probably clear by now. 2 secs. Okay. We're moving into a second segment. Sorry. I'm not fucking around. Right, Destruction, this one's called. We find ourselves backstage at the Roll Up Casino in front of a steel fencing background with the Wrestling Classic 82 logo affixed to it. Look at me! Tyson Evans has his back turned to the camera. He starts shaking uncontrollably, sweat glistening off his body. I'm 6 feet 8 inches, 295 pounds of walking, talking havoc and annihilation. He snaps his head around, veins protruding from his head and neck. Tonight, at the Wrestling Classic, Tyson Evans is going to destroy Ziggy Zolo and Chef Ketchum. My opening act will be my fists, pain and suffering, smashing your teeth down your throat. I don't know why I'm doing the voice. It's actually hurting my throat, but I kind of find it amusing. Evan grabs his long, wavy locks of hair, pulling back his majestic mullet.
Next, I'd you up, I'd you in, of my foot up your ass and my elbow across your skull.
Tyson Evans pauses, and his eyes begin to wander. It's actually fucking my throat for some reason. He leans in as if to hear something and puts his hand up to his ear. He is a caveman, man. Look at this motherfucker. He's a caveman. Come on.
Wait, we got some breaking news. This just in. There's 100% chance of domination. Solo, Ketchum, brace yourselves, because I eat little fairies like you for breakfast. When the bell rings, it will be complete and utter destruction.
Tyson starts banging his head on the logo and viciously tears the set apart. Blood flows freely from his forehead onto his chest. He wipes his forehead and stares at his hand, slowly licking his own blood. He whispers, "Destruction." We cut. Really, Mike Lane should have done this show because he could have done all the voices and dressed up and everything. It could have been hilarious. Although I'm not sure how quickly he could change between the two commentary outfits. Fuck you, Robbie. Fuck you. We are heading, you're welcome, I'll try and make you laugh, into the match. It's a three-way dance. Ziggy Solo, Tyson Evans, and Chef Ketchum. I will say the match writer here didn't know. They took the match, I think, last minute because the matches weren't taken. The match writer didn't know that we need commentary in matches. So this match doesn't have any commentary in. It's not the match writer's fault as such. It's that I was asleep when they took it, and I don't think anyone said it to him or give him the info, and I know I didn't, so it's not really his fault. But that's the reason why this one doesn't have any commentary. Okay. A clash of styles and careers culminates at the Classic as the Roll-Up Casino gears up for a three-way dance between Ziggy Solo, Tyson Evans, and Chef Ketchum. Chef. I don't know. Weird name. Ziggy starts things off with a bit of showboating for the crowd, much to the anger of Tyson, who charges the superstar right away with a big shoulder tackle, sending him straight into the corner. He immediately goes to work on Solo, stomping the midsection repeatedly as Ketchum recognises the need to wait for his big break. Solo dodges a corner splash by Tyson, before proving him to be a little less than indestructible with a flurry of offense that keeps the former bodybuilder on his toes, which proves to be the opening that Chef needs, as he catches Solo from behind with a beautiful back-to-belly suplex, sending Solo down hard onto the canvas. Ketchum now has a chance to show off his technical prowess, wrenching the arm of the superstar as he looks to force Solo onto his shoulders for the pinfall, only for Tyson to slam himself hard on both men to stop the attempt. Evans picks Ketchum up now, beating down news anchor number one with heavy forearms and following up with an Irish whip that sees Tyson drop the anchor on Chef with a massive big boot. Evans gloats just a little before setting the boot on Chef's chest for the cover. 1, 2, no. Ziggy crashes in at the last second, breaking up the count. This only angers Evans, who goes on the attack with some hard elbows on the Rockstar before dropping him with a sidewalk slam. Evans is standing tall here, continuing his assault on Solo until Ketchum gets in on the action, but to no avail as a former bounty sends the anchor flying out of the ring with a clothesline over the top rope. Tyson focuses his attention back to Solo, picking him up to wear the superstar down, but Ziggy blocks a chokeslam attempt, sending the big man reeling before connecting with a short arm clothesline. Rockin' riff, baby. Ziggy is a house on fire as he makes the cover. 1, 2, but no. Tyson kicks out with authority. Ziggy is caught off guard as Tyson gets back to his feet, charging at the Rockstar with everything he's got, but Ziggy gets to the top rope, pulling it down to send the indestructible one over the top to the outside. Ketchum slides in, looking to take advantage, but Ziggy catches him first. Awesome Solo. Ziggy connects with that slam and splash combo before the cover. 1, 2, 3. Ziggy Solo impresses the crowd with an amazing win tonight, following up with a little ditty for the fans as a bonus. And your winner of the three-way dance is Ziggy Solo. It's not mate, it is Jordan. Don't think Jordan could make it today. Doesn't look like he's in the chat, but it's definitely Jordan. We are heading backstage for a segment called Furry. This segment came to me untitled. It came to me untitled, but once I read the content of the segment, I titled it Furry. We all know that Chris is a furry, so Mate's here. I'm sure Mate's here somewhere. I'm sure he is. There he is. The wall facing the door of Jean Grey. Is it Jean or Jean? Jean Grey, Jean Guy, Jean. How would you say it? Jean Guy? Let's go Jean. Jean Guy Martel's dressing room is dominated by the Fer de Lys, Quebec's flag. In the corner is a small doghouse painted in blue with a toy dog inside. On top of it is a sign reading Jack. The door opens as JGM erupts into the room with a huge ball of fur in his hands. Look what I found in Jack Russell's room. He shows the ball of fur to the plush in the doghouse. It's a giant dog head attachment for a costume. I always knew this guy was a furry. He has quite the collection. What a fucking liar. JGM puts the furry costume on his head and imitates a dog barking. Okay, no, this feels weird. He takes the costume off and approaches the doghouse. Martel takes the plush out of the doghouse and places it in the middle of the room. What's nice about dogs like you is that I can teach you tricks. You can sit, you can fetch, and you can spin on command. He gets up and snaps his fingers. Sit, Jack. Martel waits, but the plush doesn't budge. That won't do it. He takes the plush and carefully places it on top of the doghouse. Let's try my favourite trick instead. He takes his swing and performs his signature leg drop, the force majeure, on the poor plush Jack Russell, demolishing the doghouse in the process. Play dead, he says, before smiling, and we cut. He certainly wasn't holding back, no. Definitely not. I don't know if furries were a thing in 1982, but Chris was probably born in the 80s and he's a furry, so by all accounts, I mean, it kind of adds up. This isn't OSW 82. I think that's the misconception about the show as well, is that this isn't OSW in 1982. This is the Roll Up Casino. Jeans isn't gone. She's actually watching or lurking. So he might be back to normal, but she's not gone. She's lurking, I think. Moving on to a new segment now called Colour TV. We recorded earlier. Excited consumers gather inside an electronics store where the manager touts the features of a home theatre system. Joining me in announcing the winner of this grand prize is none other than Terravision. The crowd cheers and applauds, faltering when the Scream Machine emerges from the back. You've seen the flyers. Terravision is in town for the Wrestling Classic 82 at the Roll Up Casino, where he's looking to retire Wonder Boy Billy Waters. The Lord of Contrast takes centre stage, observing his reflection on the television screen. Whoever wins this set can relive their favourites in new dimensions. Why watch reruns, though, when you could experience something new? He faces the customers. Billy Waters thinks he's the Godfather and lives life as though heaven can wait. This Saturday, though, it will be the apocalypse now, when Wonderboy feels the sting from this towering inferno. Behind him, the housing of one of the speakers pops open. Platinum locks Bob into view as Wonderboy himself climbs out. It was hollow. If you ask me, schmuck, it'll be more like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Terravision spins around and receives a low blow for his troubles. The Scream Machine doubles over. Wonderboy tosses Terravision through the television. Glass shatters. Spark shoots out. Billy Walters, just one spark apparently. Billy Walters stands over an incapacitated Terravision. He looks at the horrified spectators. Wonderboy is primetime, baby. I'm winning every demo, and there ain't nobody taking me off the air. Watch the Wrestling Classic if you dare. Terravision, survive if I let you. Putz. Woo! Just catching up on the chat. You love us, Chris, and we love you. So shut your fucking mouth, slag. Okay. We're moving on to the next match. It's the ladder match for the United States Championship. To be honest, it's the one thing I didn't like about this, if I'm honest with you, Willem Derp, is that I didn't like the fact that some people thought it was just imitate your favourite former wrestler day. When I portrayed the Wonder Boy earlier in the scene, he was actually more what I thought he was going to be, like a bit of a cocky asshole. But since then, it's more of a rip-off of Ric Flair, I think. But I do like the character. The segments are quite fun, so there is that. The Terrier stands ready in his corner, staring down Martel with a sense of conviction. Meanwhile, Capitaine Quebec merely sneers at the US champ. There's real animosity between these two, Tommy. Jean Guy Martel has been a thorn in Jack's side since he got here, and I wish he'd just put this dog down. If I have to see Terrier flaunting that belt any longer, I'll puke. Is that so? It is. The match is off, and both men close in on one another, going for a classic collar and elbow tie-up. Jack Russell gets the upper hand with his amateur background and quickly plants Martel with a massive belly-to-belly suplex. Jack follows through and lays into him with a ground and pound. Martel can't defend against the seasoned grappler. The Terrier heaves him up and whips him into the turnbuckle before rushing in and right into a big boot. Coup de grace by Martel floors. Sorry, I said that wrong. The Terrier. Coup de grace? Coup de grace? Is it coup de grace? It's coup de grace, isn't it? Jean-Guy looks down at Jack Russell and curls his lip before moving outside of the ring and grabbing a ladder from the ringside. He hurls it inside and slides in after. Jack is getting back to his feet, but a punt to the gut keeps him down on the ground. Kicking him down whilst he's down, Martel is as cowardly as they come. It's called being opportunistic, Arn. If you knew anything about it, you'd be known for your wrestling instead of your announcing. Captain Quebec laughs at Jack before setting the ladder up in the middle of the ring and beginning his ascent. He gets to the top and laughs at the booing crowd as he reaches for the belt, but Jack Russell has scaled the ladder. He yanks Martel to the ground. Both men stand on their feet, but Jack grabs Jean-Guy and flings him across the ring with a German suplex. Martel rolls to his feet and stumbles into the corner, leading right into a massive clothesline by the Terrier that rocks him. Jack whips Martel into the ladder. Of course, Jack has to start using the ladder as a weapon, and aiming for the face too. Does this dog have no shame? It's called opportunity, Tommy? Maybe you've heard of it. Martel's head bounces off the ladder to a cheer from the crowd as he hits the ground and holds his face. Jack rushes to the ladder and begins to climb as the crowd cheers him on. But just as he's halfway up, Jean-Guy is back to his feet, and he hits a low blow on Jack. Martel just neutered the Terrier. Russell falls from the ladder and slams into the mat with a thud. Martel looks at him, then back to the title before a devious grin spreads across his face. Jack fights to his knees, looking up at the amazing French-Canadian who spits on his face. He spat on his face! Jean-Guy just spit in the Terrier's face. Insult to injury. Martel doesn't know a damn thing about sportsmanship. Ha! He's asserting dominance over Jack, aren't he? If you care so much, you should help Jack buy a cone so he doesn't lick the wound. Brilliant, writing. Massive boot to the jaw of Jack sends him sprawling, and just as he's beginning to get back to his feet, Martel is on him. Gut-wrench powerbomb. Jean-Guy showing off his power as he flings Russell down to the mat. Martel peels him up and knees him in the jaw with a chorus of boos, drinking in the hatred of the American audience. Shoulder charge. Jack shoulder charged to his feet and carried Martel with him. Both men slam into the ground as he drops Jean-Guy with a ring-shaking spine buster. That's spine on the pine. Anger just pours out of Jack as he swings on Martel with everything he's got. Lefts and rights rain down one after the other until he ends off with a headbutt that knocks both men silly. Russell rolls to his feet and Martel rolls to the outside wisely. The Terrier looks up at the belt and tries to find the strength to climb. He gets a foot on the rung and a chair shot by Martel grounds him. Martel grabbed the chair. Jean-Guy scoffs at his opponent as he begins to climb. He has it, but then the chants begin. USA, USA, USA. Jack is just refusing to stay down. This is a man who respects his country and loves his belt. I don't think anything can stop him from fighting if you tried. anything unless it's a chew toy. He's getting up, but it's already too late. The amazing French Canadian has the gold in his hands. Jack Russell fights to his feet. He climbs the ladder and elbows Martel. Both men fight over the belt. Hands are yanking it from both directions. Headbutt from the Terrier. Martel is stunned. Russell grabs the belt with one hand. He grabs Martel's head with the other. Elbow from Martel. The Terrier is stunned again. Jean-Guy grabs hold of Russell. No, he can't. Force majeure from the top of the ladder. Backbreaker from up high. Russell is out. He can't get up, and Martel climbs the ladder again. The crowd is booing with all their might, but Jack is comatose on the mat. Captain Quebec grabs the belt, and Jean-Guy Martel has won the United States Championship. The amazing French Canadian shows his superiority tonight as he dethrones Jack Russell, claiming the United States Championship. Yep, really good match. Yeah, I think even as an Englishman, I wanted the American to win and retain because obviously Jean-Guy Martel is the bad guy in this, and you obviously want America to win that. So I was definitely hoping for a Jean-Guy win, but it wasn't to be. All right. We have a segment called Something From You. Bull Hazard is in a dark room, tied to a chair. He's having flashbacks to his time as a prisoner of war. Where am I? Get me out of here. Someone turns on the lights. It's the Royal Highness, King Henry. Americans. Always dramatic. They'll fight a war over something like taxes. It's King Henry. The Great Sheik and Sergei Kolarov are with him. What do you want with me? He says. Sergei begins to speak. Funny you ask. The country you see as good guy has taken something from all of us. The land we fought for you to have. Our royal. Our rightful place as world leader. You think you're the best country in the world because you won 2 world wars. Yeah, you won and the world has turned to shit. Now, we take something from you. King Henry grabs an American flag. This look familiar? The Sheik douses it in gasoline. How do you say it? Freedom of speech? Sergei tosses a match on it and it goes up in flames. There it goes, the flag you fight for. Have fun trying to grab what's left of it. The flag is reduced to ash as Bull was ready to bust out of the ropes. Red hook from Sergei as Bull is then knocked out cold. They cut his ropes loose to free him from the chair and exit the room, leaving him unconscious on the floor. Why did we let him go? Sergei asks. So you can do that again, Sergei. And we cut. Good segment. Unfortunately, it wasn't clear who was speaking. I had to take a guess. I think I messed up. But because there was no real says blah, blah, blah or anything like that, I didn't know who said some of the things. So when it comes to this, I could guess that Sheik was oil. But the rest, I've got to be honest, I had to take a bit of a guess at. But there you go. I still think it was a good segment. Even if I did maybe get a couple of things wrong who said it, I think it still worked out quite nicely. We are going to a segment called Good Night, Sweetheart. Now, before we get here, I want to put a quick disclaimer out that if... Yeah, The Chase made it. The Chase and Revenge made it back-to-back earlier in the night. Before I get onto this segment, guys, I want to say that if you are... Without spoiling it, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not massively graphic, but it's not for the faint of heart. So if you don't like it, feel free to mute me till it's over, turn off, whatever. We're not glorifying this. This is a part of a story. It's a part of a story we're telling. So please don't be offended. Please don't be upset. But it's called Good Night, Sweetheart. Outside the roll-up in an alley, and we're private and off-camera. Errol Flint sits slumped against the floor, banging his head against a chain-link fence. He's distraught. All he wants to do is quit this godforsaken company and go home. He pulls a picture of his wife from his pocket and looks at it carefully, caressing it with his index finger. I love you, he says, placing the photo carefully back into his pocket. Suddenly, he snatches a pill bottle from the floor and begins ramming them down his throat with a bottle of whiskey chaser. We pan back to see the chief and Sigil watching. What the hell is he doing? Sigil demands to know. The chief sighs. He's ending his life. he replies solemnly. On this day in 1982, Errol Flint committed suicide. The doctor walks over to where Flint lays. The collector, walks over to where Flint lays, watching as he convulses and passes out, foaming at the mouth. He doesn't know what to do, so he looks back to the chief. This was always fated to happen, Sigil. Errol owed the wrong people a lot of money and couldn't handle his obligations to repay. It all became too much for him. Sigil doesn't understand. But wait, how is this possible? He asks in confusion. Errol Flint started old school wrestling. The chief nods. Look up, he says, looking upwards himself. A white light brightly begins to envelop the scene, and we cut. So hopefully that didn't upset anyone. Like I say, not glorifying suicide. Suicide is definitely a part of the story, though. So we might be getting some ideas of where we're heading, but we'll see. Not going to say anymore. We're now moving on to the next match, which is Flag on a Pole. It's Bull Hazard representing the United States of America versus the Great Sheik, who's representing Iran, versus Sergei Kolarov, who's representing Russia, and King Henry, who's representing England. All four flags sit connected upon poles, one in each corner. Hold on. The United States flag is burnt beyond repair, and the fans are letting the world know how disrespectful that is by chanting, and you guessed it, USA, USA, USA. The fans soon start dueling those chants. Bull, 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 USA, bull, bull, USA. It's clear where their loyalties lie here tonight. Listen to the sound of that. Doesn't it make you feel patriotic? God bless America, The bell sounds and everyone rushes towards Bull. Only the drill sergeant is quick to fire off elbows to their skulls to send them stumbling backwards. He quickly rushes towards King Henry and leaps into a Luther's press, mounting the king with right and left hands. The Sheik stumbles towards his corner, trying to be crafty and climb for his flag. Only Kolarov is there, pulling him off from the middle turnbuckle. Choke slam. The big Russian drives him into the canvas. Sergei spits on him, turning around as he hazard with a clothesline, bringing rapturous applause from the crowd. He looks towards his dishevelled flag and begins making the climb. He only gets to the middle turnbuckle before a double forearm hits his back. It's King Henry. The king climbs up with him, backdrop from the middle turnbuckle. Kolarov is back to his feet, as is the Great Sheik, who storms at him with a shoulder barge. Only the two beefcakes bounce off one another. They each take to a rope and come storming back to meet in the middle, double clothesline, and neither man budges. It's like two semi-trucks just collided in the middle of the ring. One more time, they storm off into the ropes. Only King Henry dives in with a chop block to the leg of Kolarov, getting involved. The Great Sheik laughs, but here's Bull. DDT. No, the Sheik pushes out. The great kick, drop kick to the knee of Hazard. He gets back to his feet to see if Henry delivering right hand to Sergei, who's down on one knee. With that in mind, Sheik heads back to his corner. He starts climbing, reaching for the flag. Only Henry is quickly in from behind. The king joins him on the middle rope, and they begin trading elbows, each trying to knock one another off. But here comes Sergei. Sergei from behind. He comes underneath. Double power bomb to King Henry and the Great Sheik. The power of the Russian. My lord, how the hell did he manage that? He falls flat on his face immediately after, having exerted all of his energy. Bull Hazard is carefully back to his feet, looking towards his flag. The fans are behind him as he rushes to his corner as quickly as he can. He climbs, reaching up the pole. Hazard has it. He has the pole. All he has to do is connect it and drop down. But no. God bless America. Bull Hazard has. But wait, here comes the rest. Iran, England, Russia. They're combining to make a superpower in the middle of the ring. Here comes the Great Sheik, Sergei Kolarov, King Henry. All three of them surround him, just like earlier tonight. Sergei grabs him from behind. The Great Sheik has a handful too. Meanwhile, Henry has climbed the outer turnbuckle. Right hands fly towards his face, but he blocks Henry and drives forward with a headbutt. King Henry falls to the outside. Holy crap, he's fallen to the floor. Sergei and the Sheik pull him away and double spine buster, spine on the pine. Bull Hazard is down. The Great Sheik immediately turns to Sergei. Double-handed chokeslam. The Great Slam. He nailed it. The Sheik is going to do it. He storms over to his corner, climbing the turnbuckle. No, not like this. Think of the children. Somebody, please. Iran is is going to win the flag match. No! King Henry is somehow back in the ring. He trundles over to Sheik, scooping him up into the powerbomb position. No way! Turnbuckle powerbomb. Sheik stumbles out of the impact, off with his head, clothesline from hell. King Henry nails him. He walks towards his corner, but Sergei grabs him by the feet. He pulls himself back up, and Henry pulls him into a DDT position. Kolarov spins out, red hook, monstrous right hook. The King is stumbling. Sergei scoops him up, orange crush powerbomb, Soviet destruction. The powerful Russian has put himself into pole position to win this entire thing. What he doesn't see is Bull Hazard, sidewalk slam, the Crucible. Oh, born in the USA. The fans are roaring. Bull points to the flag. He marches across the ring, only to be stopped by the Great Sheik before he makes his corner. Low blow. Hazard drops to his knees. The Great Sheik mounts him from behind. The camel clutch. The great hold. Hazard screams in agony. He taps, but there's no submissions tonight. The Ayatollah viciously slams him down on the mat once more. When he's finished and walks over to Sergei Kolarov, the great hold to Sergei. He's squeezing until the Russian goes red in the face. Then he slams him down as well. Finally, he walks over to King Henry. The great hold to King Henry. The Great Sheik is choking everyone out. Holy shit. When he's finished, he dusts off his hands and heads to his corner, climbing the turnbuckle and reaching his flag. The Great Sheik wins it for Iran. What a match. America mourns, says Arnie. We all mourn. Iran has somehow won this flag match. This is bullshit. Hazard must demand a recount, Tommy says. Someone complain to the officials. Someone demand that the USA are deemed winners. This isn't good enough. But your winner is the Great Sheik, representing Iran. I may need to go get another drink of water in a minute. Yep, congrats, Rob. Hope you liked the match. Yeah, I enjoyed writing that one. That was pretty fun. I wrote 2 on this show. I didn't intend to write any, but I managed to write 2, so I'm quite happy with that. Right, I'm just going to get a drink. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay. I returned. Okay, so hope everyone's enjoying the show so far. When the show's over, guys, I'm going to raid Mad Tomato. I told him earlier today that when it's over, I'm going to raid him. So please stick around, please raid and go speak to Mad. He's such a lovely bloke. I really like Mad. So yeah, please do follow me into a raid for Mad at the end of this. And stick around for as long as you can and have a chat with him. Because, like I said, he's a lovely bloke. He deserves everyone's support. So, if we can get over there at the end of this, please do remind me if I forget, because you know what my memory's like. But I do fully intend to give him a raid. Okay. We're moving on to a segment now called Palimpsest, I think. We find ourselves on the top floor of the roll-up casino. Wonder Boy Billy Walters sits on the leather couch of his lavish penthouse suite with 2 stunning blondes who cozy up on either side of him. They're drinking champagne and having a good time. Suddenly, the lights begin to flicker, emitting a faint buzzing sound and interrupting their fun momentarily. Walters shakes his head. "Excuse me one itty-bitty moment, ladies," he says apologetically. "Just going to drop a screen down to the front desk and find out what the big deal is." "This is somewhat ominous," Arnie says. "Billy ought to be careful. The Wonder Boy's gearing up to take care of some business, Arnie. I wonder if we can watch." "You pervert. I'm just saying, if he had a sex tape, I'd watch it." As he makes his way across the room, the flickering becomes more violent, until all of a sudden, crack, the bulbs shatter, stopping Walters in his tracks and triggering the girls to scream. One by one, the bright lights which illuminate the Las Vegas skyline die. The entire power in the city is out, and we go to static. The television set in the corner of the room switches itself on. What the? Walters looks utterly bemused as the video recording begins to roll. History is a palimpsest, and can only be read as such, a distorted voice bellows. The scriptures of your impending doom have already been written. The Wonder Boy's eyes widen at what he's witnessed on screen. It's him, many years from now, an old man, fragile and alone, surrounded by photographs of him in his current state, in his pomp. Today marks a landmark in the career of William Waters. Today marks the day when it all came to a dead end. Static. The glow from the television scene irradiates Waters' face. He's sweating and he's shivering. Jesus Christ. Tonight could be the end of the Wonder Boy. These have been fighting for months and it all culminates tonight. Do not change the channel. He's a shell of his usual self. And what on earth just happened? So we're moving into the next segment called Burger Van. Dante Wallace stands just beside a food truck nearby the roll-up casino. He chuckles giddily as the vendor hands him a very delicious-looking hamburger. He waves to the cook before making his way back to the arena. He eyes his meal with glee before he goes to take a massive bite. Just as Dante's teeth were about to make contact, however, a race car speeds towards the casino. It hits a rather large puddle, splashing the burger in street water. The hungry man stares at the now wet food, mouth agape and hands quaking. He looks up at the vehicle, which is parked not 2 feet from the entrance. The driver steps out and removes his helmet, revealing his platinum blonde mullet to the world. The now identified Robbie Lane turns around to meet Dante with a cocky smile. Hey there, Williams. Ready for our match tonight? The rapid man notices his drenched burger, chuckling at what must be Dante's boiling rage. Sorry about your food. Might help you start your diet though, huh? Robbie pats Dante's stomach playfully before heading to the entrance of the casino, never breaking eye contact as he moves. Enjoy that belt while it's still around your 5XL waist. It's time for a new face in the winner's circle. If you ain't first, you're last. Robbie then walks off frame. Dante angrily chomps his wet food as he follows suit. My name's Dante Wallace, asshole. The hungry man's gonna eat you for that. And we cut. Well, guys, you know what time it is now. It's time for the semi-main event. There's only 2 matches left, this and the main event. Looks like this show's probably only going to be an hour or so long, which isn't the end of the world, really. Folks, our next contest has Wonder Boy Billy Walters in the fight of his life against the formidable Terrorvision. It's an I Quit match, and if Walters utters those words, the cardinal sin for any professional wrestler, his career is over. The dirtiest player in the game may as well fold now, because Terrorvision is holding all the cards in this one. There's no way the Scream Machine is going to let Wonder Bomb Billy Walters survive tonight. Sorry. Here we go then. Terrorvision making his way out of the ring. A bit of a muted reception. This is one terrifying athlete. And now here's Billy Walters with a look of determination. The Wonder Boy is ready to put it all on the line. And he's making a line straight for Terrorvision. The bell sounds and Walters goes immediately on the offensive. He gets the upper hand on Terrorvision with a few shots to the television. Irish whips him into the ropes. Running clothesline from Walters. The Wonder Boy looks up for it tonight, and he's moving so well. Walters with an Irish rip into the ropes. Dropkick, smooth as silk on a shoe shine from the Wonder Boy. Certainly smoother than that cheap bourbon you're quaffing on. Wonder Boy has a Scream Machine in the corner. Hard chop to the chest, and another. He's in total control. Those famed Walters chops, each slicing blow constricting the lungs and driving the oxygen out of the receiver. It's an absolute disgrace the official hasn't intervened here. Walters has clearly gained the advantage by attacking before Terrorvision was ready. He's a motivated man, that's all. Nothing motivates a man more than knowing his bread and butter is at risk, or in your case, there is no greater motivation than a bottle of whiskey. More chops from Waters before he turns Terrorvision around and rakes his back. Waters lines up for a flying corner body splash. Waters took a big risk and he's hit the corner as Terrorvision evades the splash. He's flopped worse than some of the suckers I saw losing thousands on the roulette table earlier. Terrorvision is now on the attack. Repeated chops to the chest, then a body slam puts Walters on the canvas. The Scream Machine climbs up to the second rope. Fist drop from the second rope. You could hear the impact from here. The Hammer takes a big pull from his hip flask in the ring. The official asks for the first time tonight whether Walters wants to quit, but Wonder Boy just waves him away. The Scream Machine mounts Wonder Boy, and with his head between his hands, Terrorvision begins to slam Wonder Boy's head against the canvas, over and over. I think it's open to interpretation. I think they're both kind of heels. I thought it was face v heel, but I think they're kind of both heels in a way. I think it's basically just, I think you could like and support either one. I imagine. I think if you look at Billy Waters, you think this guy's going to be a face and Terrorvision's going to be a heel. So the match fits that. But the writers, when they wrote their promos and things, changed things about a bit. I think so. Now Waters looks more like a heel, but then Terrorvision's also a heel. So you've kind of got that tough thing. So I think it's just you can go either way on them. I think that's what the commentary sort of. It is kind of monster heel versus Ric Flair, yeah, and I think that works. But obviously, some of the previous segments paint him as a heel because the promo painted him as a bit of a heel, and the segments that written by the handlers paint him as a bit of a heel. So it's tough, but I think it's gonna make for an enjoyable match anyway. If anything goes in this one, a bit like your wife, no disqualifications, no countouts, no pinfalls. You just have to make your opponent say, "I quit." Inside the ring, Terrorvision has Walters face down over the bottom rope, using it to choke Wonderboy before dropping an elbow into the top of the back and neck area. Again, Walters is asked if he wants to quit, but he shakes his head. The Scream Machine has Wonderboy on his feet, a huge chop to the chest, and then a clothesline drops him. The question comes again, but it's refused by Walters. He may be the dirtiest player in the game, but Billy Walters is also one of the toughest. We could be here all night before he ever quits on his career. His life is in the squared circle. But he's never had to contend before with horror like Terrorvision. Even Hollywood won't touch the Scream Machine because it's so frightening. Walters is leaning on the ropes. Terrorvision clotheslines him over the top to the outside. Wonderboy takes a bad bump on the concrete, but Terrorvision is quickly outside to face him and run him in to the ring post. The ref is on the spot with a question, but again, he gets no reply. That's the cue for Terrorvision to continue his assault, slamming Walters' head into the guardrail before slamming him once again into the exposed steel of the ring post. Walters is down for a while and then begins to rise. Again, Walters has been cut wide open, folks. The Wonderboy is wearing a crimson mask after that steel post sliced open his flesh like a razor blade. It's all over now, Arn. Just a matter of time before the house closes in and calls its depth on this fraud that is Billy Walters. He may not be the purest example of sportsmanship, Tommy, but let me tell you, as someone who knows his way around the hallowed squared circle, Billy Waters is no fraud. The only thing I've ever known you to know your way around, Arn, is a bottle of bourbon. Waters is staggering around, legs like jelly, as the Hammer puts it. The Scream Machine has him held by the head, a big uppercut, and the Wonderboy is down on the concrete again. The dirtiest player drags himself to his feet using the ring apron, and Terrorvision continues to attack with some hard chops. The Scream Machine is punishing Waters. He lifts him onto his shoulder. Oh boy, Terrorvision drives Wonderboy Billy Waters' spine into the steel post. Never mind his career, the Wonderboy is not walking out of this casino tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we may be witnessing before our very eyes the sickening dismembering of a long career. This terrifying monster, Terrorvision, is annihilating Billy Waters. This is proving to be one roll of the dice too many for the Wonder Bum. Terrorvision is stalking Waters now, who has ignored several questions from the referee. Wonderboy slowly gets back to a vertical base, but he's in a bad state. Terrorvision with a big overarm punch, but Wonderboy stands and takes the shot, and another. Now he blocks the third. Rake of the eyes by Billy Waters. What eyes? Dirty, filthy cheat, and a drop kick. Terrorvision into the ring steps. Maybe he raked his buttons or something. Listen to this audience, Tommy. Idiots. Woo! Crows the Wonderboy, getting a huge pop, and with renewed vigour, the blood-spattered Billy Waters climbs to the top rope. He twisted his knobs, I like that. Terrorvision gets to his feet. Holy baloney, what a move! Crossbody from the top rope, perfect execution, and world-class athleticism from the Wonderboy. Woo! Waters is pumped and loaded. He locks in a figure four leg lock on the Scream Machine. Wonderboy has the submission locked in, an illegal move outside the ring. Anything goes in this one. Arnie reminds him, no disqualifications, no count-outs. Billy Waters is bending all his will into this leg lock. His career depends on it. Someone has got to put a stop to this. Terrorvision is being cancelled. The Scream Machine has no escape route, nowhere to go. But will he quit? The official gets down by Terrorvision, and he's asking the question, is the official sticking him for the bell? He is. Terrorvision has said, I quit. Wonderboy Billy Waters has done it. He rebels, and his career endures like Mike fucking Lane. Pass me that hip flask on. I need a drink. And the winner by forcing his opponent to say "I quit" is Billy Waters, the Wonder Boy. Woo! Now, we have another segment. I had to put this in because it is a rotten segment. Clark wrote it, so you probably already know it's a rotten segment because Alex Clark wrote it. But I couldn't, even though the match is over and it can't build the match, I still wanted to put it in because it might make people laugh. I don't know. So we'll see. Here we go. Deborah. Sweetheart. Cotton Eye Joe. On a dial telephone in the locker room. He looks extremely worried. Listen, I know you've been cheating on me. Yeah, I do. I do too, you bitch. I don't know what kind of STD you gave me, but there's little corn niblets falling out of my penis hole. Yeah, like corn, you know, the vegetable. Yeah, and when I bait on my penis, creamed corn comes out. And I know you did this to me, you dirty bitch. Well, well, well. Sounds like someone got their brain shucked out. Cotton Eye Joe turns around to see Dick Fury. He gyrates aggressively as Joe stares at him. Dick Fury, what the hell are you doing creeping up on me like a rapist? Dick Fury still gyrates, running his hands all over his body. Would you stop wiggling your hips like that? You're making me feel extremely uncomfortable. That's what Deborah said. She said those exact words when I did her in the butt. Old Joe points an accusing finger at Fury. Did you give my wife corn badge? Because she gave me corn wang. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Fury replies with a grin. All I know for sure is y'all made that corno after me and Debbie made the porno. And you wanna know why I did it? Why I snuck into your house, gave your wife an Eskimo kiss, scarred all your kids, and made sweet love to her in front of all of them? No, I really don't. I hate you. Because I'm one half of the tag team champions. And you best believe, just like Deborah, this tag team title is never going to stop riding Dick Fury's waist. Didn't I show you that tonight? Joe can't think of anything to say. Oh yeah? Well, you probably have corn coming out when you pee. With the way we were shucking? Possibly. I mean, I shucked her all over the house. All over the bed. I even shucked her on the toilet. Your toilet. Joe looks disgusted. You mother shucker. I don't even know what to say about that. I read it, I laughed, I thought, okay, it's going in the show, because fuck it. Either you're going to find it funny, or you're going to find it disgusting, or both. Whatever. I don't care. Alex is messed up. I think it's universally decided that Clark is messed up. Now, folks, moving on to a segment called Buffet. Glitz and glamour floods our sights as we head to the most trafficked area of the roll-up casino, the buffet. Gaudy suits, roll-up sports coats, and powdered noses greet us as gamblers flood through the line, gobbling up the barely warm food. Dante Wallace is right there, with a plate stacked high with protein and other good stuff. He's bursting out of his own Miami Vice-styled suit, but the world title is shimmering around his waist. You think you're going to beat the Rapid Man? A young guy in a cowboy hat asks. Does a lobster scream if you boil it? The champ responds, filling his large-sized cup with some soda as he heads to the table to eat. He takes a huge chunk out of a chicken leg before slurping down some of the soda, but he spits it out. He spits it out and starts coughing. Out of nowhere, Robbie Lane saunters into frame. He picks up the spilled soda and laughs. Unleaded, Dante? He taunts. Gas goes in your car, son, not your belly. Should have had an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Robbie pours the gasoline over the sputtering champion. He walks over to the buffet line, and it stunned the guests, grabbing a clearly marked soda can. Making sure the label is turned to face the camera, Robbie guzzles it down. The fuel of champions. Sorry, kid, but your race is over. He sets a drink down next to Dante. I'll be the first, but you'll be last. Robbie walks away, nodding to the young guy in the cowboy hat as he does so. Dante is still down, trying to rub the gasoline from his eyes and mouth. The Rapid Man needs to take this more seriously, Tommy. Dante hasn't been beaten in 2 years. He's chomped his way through the competition, Tommy replies. Both title and non-title. He might look like the only thing he races to is the burger van, but that title is his Big Mac, and he's loving it. Very well said, says Arnie. Well, folks, we are now heading into commentary for the main event. Back at ringside, only moments away from the main event itself, and we're back with Arnie Ventura and Tommy Gunn. We're just moments away from the main event. We've seen Lane rev his engine on multiple occasions tonight, which will likely only serve to make Dante hungrier. This match has been slow cooking for the best part of a year, and tonight it finally happens. Either Dante remains undefeated and retains the championship, or we enter the Robbie Lane era. Well, dinner's ready, so let's eat. We move over to the ring itself, ready for introductions. And here we are, guys, onto the main event. It's the World Championship match. It's Dante Wallace, the undefeated World Champion, versus the contender, Rapid Robbie Lane. Fans, we have a hell of a main event coming up. The hungry man, Dante Wallace, the giant who's been devouring every single wrestler that dares comes his way. Some of the greatest in this sport falling to that leafing... Sorry, I'm going to cough. To that lethal running bear hug of his. Dante's wins expand as much as his waistline seems to on, as no sane person wants to go seconds with a lardo. But as we all know, Robbie Lane is a crazy bastard. That he is, Tommy. Robbie's been chasing Dante up and down the country for months now. Defeat after defeat, but each time Lane gets a little bit closer to being the first to put down the undefeated champion. The crowd begin to roar and cheers as the Rapid Man comes down to the ring, waving his checkered flag high as a determined grin raises up that trademark blonde moustache. He hands the flag to the ringside before walking through the ropes, wincing slightly as he does, holding his right side where his ribs are. And we see there the unfortunate injury Lane's coming into this match with, a result of a bad decision in a tag team match a few weeks ago. Call it what it is, Arn. Dumbass Robbie tried to slam a 600-pound man and paid the price for it. He's lucky he got only a few cracked ribs and not a broken back like that Bolea guy from a few months back. Sad sight that was, Tommy. Either way, Robbie's going to have an even tougher time tonight. But if anyone can overcome the impossible, it's the Rapid Man. I sure as hell hope not, Arn. Daddy's got 200 bones on Dante here, and I don't fancy getting my ass kicked by the Pisianos again. The sounds of obnoxious chewing and munching fill the air as the world champion Dante Wallace walks out, all 600 pounds of him. The world title balanced on his shoulder as he's munching down on some quality fried chicken coming to the ring. And here comes our champion, continuing his unorthodox pre-match rituals here. Dante looking like Robbie doesn't faze him in the slightest. Well, would he, Arn? Lane's a fourth the size of the man. He's beaten him before and they demolish him again in a flash so we can finally get a real challenger in this place. Dante drops the chicken carcass at ringside as he slowly climbs up the steps to climb into the ring. And here we go, guys. We are gearing up now. It is the main event. It is the main event. Damo versus Lana. Dante versus Robbie Lane. The bell sounds and there's an absolute cheap shot by Robbie Lane there, who is usually above such tactics. Hey, it's win or lose in that ring, Arn, and Robbie's going to do whatever he has to pick up the elusive win for the greatest prize in our sport. It's why I bet on him here to win tonight. Robbie Lane pounding down on the kneeling Dante with lefts and rights, but nothing seems to be affecting the world champion. And didn't you say you bet on Dante to win, Tommy? Gotta cover all my bases, Arn. Go for the surefire thing and the underdog victory. Either way, it's all looking up for Gunn. I'm commentating with a true genius here, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, back in the action, Lane is giving Dante all he's got, but Wallace is eating up everything Robbie is giving him and asking him for more. Lane pounds down on Wallace with lefts, rights, kicks, flurries of everything and everything he can throw at Dante, but Dante doesn't even move an inch, let alone show signs of damage from Lane's furious onslaught. Lane rushes to the ropes, trying for something with a bit more momentum, bouncing right off into a massive right hand. Robbie looking up at those Vegas lights after a mammoth right hand by Dante Wallace. All that momentum stopped in an instant, but we wouldn't expect less from our world champion. Dante pulls the groggy Robbie, snapping his head down with a mammoth headbutt that nearly knocks him out cold right there as Dante tries to pull Lane up into the bear hug. But Robbie fights out, lefts, rights, for a double-fisted punch to the gut wins Dante Wallace. Dante stunned. Is Robbie going for it again? Will Robbie Lane be the first man to take Dante Wallace off his feet? Robbie tries to lift up the hungry man, but his back gives out before he can even get up an inch. Dante slams Robbie hard in the back with a pair of hammer fists before falling forward. Fat ass splash. You can't slam big fat man, Robbie. And now you're going to lose once more to the world champion. It's all over, Arn. Dante stays down on the squash lane, hooking the leg for cover. 1, 2, 3, but there's a kick out at the last second. A miraculous kick out there, Tommy. The crowd is going wild as Robbie Lane is still in this one. Not for long though, Arn. That may have just been the warm-up, but the fat lady's going to start singing soon enough. Robbie is struggling on the mat, but Dante doesn't let up, kicking Lane over and delivering a pair of hard elbows to the spine that leave him screaming in agony. Dante gets up, pulling rapid Robbie Lane to his knees, declaring Robbie tastes like chicken as he bites down onto his forehead. Dante Wallace just toying with his opponent here, adding insult to injury, that bite to the forehead as blood begins to ooze down Lane's face. I've heard of fast food, Arn, but this is just ridiculous. Lane screams in pain as blood oozes down his white moustache. Dante gets tired of his new snack, picking him up and effortlessly body slamming him into the canvas. The hungry man looks for the end and backs up a few feet. Mud pie, but hits the canvas. Robbie just moves out of the way of that devastating splash, and it looks like the Rapid Man has his second wind. He may well be about to fly those deadly flags of his. Dante slowly gets to his feet and he's punished for the flurry of lefts and rights by Lane before Robbie rushes to the ropes once more, ducking under a clothesline, this time before dropping down. Black flag, drop, toe hold, count it. There's a drop toe hold for Mike Lane right on the middle rope. Dante stumbles up to his feet, holding his throat in pain as Lane delivers an uppercut to the same damaged throat before gripping underneath Dante's massive legs. Finally delivers the body slam. He did it. Lane does it. He's the first man to take Dante Wallace off his feet, and he does it with a massive body slam to the 600-pounder. How in the hell did he manage that? Jesus Christ, Arn, did you feel that earthquake right now? That shocked the ring. I just can't believe it didn't implode from the black hole of that fat that was just driving into it. Oh, will you stop? Robbie's hurting from lifting up the 600-pound giant, but adrenaline is throwing through him as he looks to finish this once and for all, begging Wallace to get up as he backs up into the corner. The hungry man slowly getting back to his feet, and Lane rushes forward. Checkered, no. Dante catches him in mid-run. He lifts him up into the bear hug. Dinner's served, and the fat lady sings their arm. Robbie Lane once again chokes at the final lap. Dante crashes down upon Lane for the cover. 1, 2, 3, and unfortunately for Robbie Lane, he falls to the hungry man once more. He finally delivered that body slam, but it just wasn't enough to quench his hunger for the remaining champion. You could feed him a small country and he'd still ask for seconds. Either way, I still get paid and Dante is still the champion. Therefore, your winner and still undefeated and still world champion, Dante Wallace. Congrats, buddy. I really liked your promo. Definitely the closest match on the card. There's no question about it. It was the closest match on the card. I really liked the promo that you did. I was really sold on the promo. Yeah, I think it's quite cool. We have one segment left, guys, before the end of the show. Before we go and raid Matt the Mother, we are here with a segment, Errol Flint, called May God Bless You. We're about to find out everything we need to know about 1982 and OSW. Somewhere else, private and off camera. A diner, somewhere in Las Vegas. Only it's empty, except one African-American male, roughly 40 years of age. The chief instead will sit back at a couple of tables, watching as the man sips on his coffee. Suddenly, the white light that enveloped the screen before does so again, only this time it drops Errol Flint in the seat opposite that African-American man. Where am I? Who are you? Flint asks. The man stops sipping his coffee. There's no easy way to tell you this, my child, but my name is Yahweh. You may know me as God. That shocks Flint, who can't believe he sat opposite God himself. I don't have long. I'm borrowing the vessel of a very important man, a man of my bloodline, who'll raise a son that this world needs. What does that have to do with me? Flint asks. Because this world needs you too, he continues. That child, when a man, will also need you. Errol shakes his head. He doesn't understand. I plucked your soul from transport to heaven because I have a mission for you, Errol. I have a task that you must complete. You may feel worthless, you may feel insignificant, but you're going to do something that could save the world. How do you know this? Flint asks. How do you know that I'm so important? There will be a day when my son breaks free of his restraint in hell and ravages this earth as punishment for the way he perceives that I've treated him. Only I can stop him. But for me to be able to do that, you need to play your role, as does this vessel's son. Errol Flint sits back in his chair, taking a deep breath. What must I do? Yahweh smiles and nods, proud of his decision. In 2015, you need to start your own wrestling organization called Old School Wrestling. That's all you have to do. It's your destiny. So believe me when I say that as bleak as your life seems right now, you will accomplish this, as long as you are willing. Flint nods. Are you going to bring me back to life? He asks. Yahweh nods, almost reluctantly. I hid my power to create life, he admits. Only 2 people, including myself, know where it is. However, I can draw on its power to bring those dead back to life. Before he does, he reaches out and grabs Errol by the hand. Everything depends on you, he reminds him. Everything. And then he snaps his fingers. In the back of the restaurant, the chief and Sigil watch as this whole interaction unfolds. The chief has a tear in his eye, looking at his father. I understand now, Sigil remarks. You're telling the truth. You see, only the gods ever had power to create life. But that power was so immense that they hid it. In their death, the power to create new life had died with them. I'm sorry, Sigil. Should we return? The collector nods. Their venture into 1982 complete. And there we go. So it fills in the backstory. When I come up with the concept of 1982, I knew exactly what I was going to do to fit my story. Showing how important Errol Flint is to the arc of where OSW is today. Yeah, so you understand now that Errol, wasn't happy with life as such. He wasn't happy with what he was doing. He wasn't happy with any of that, and he tried to kill himself. But Yahweh, took the chief's father's body as a vessel, bloodline of Christ, and brought him back to life. What you do know now is the power to create life is hidden. Yeah, it all ties in. It definitely all ties in, Mike. I was going to go into a bit more detail with the wife, but I thought it was unnecessary. So I was gonna lean into Destiny and everything else, but I thought, where would I fit it? How would I get it in? So yeah, it would be before Destiny, but I was gonna play more into his future to convince him that he needed to go back, but then I realised I didn't necessarily need to, because look, you draw on the comparisons, you can see what the plan is anyway. Sigil wanted to know where the power of life is, and the chief has just shown him that they don't have it, and that's how it fits into canon. So this is how 1982. This is how this show fits into our mythology and our canon, and it's not just a one-off show that's random. It does fit into the overall arc of what we're trying to do. So, of course, I could play the opening video. Yeah, of course I can. Hang on. Okay, so technical difficulties on my end. Apparently, I'm not allowed to play it with the sound. I'm going to try it now. Hopefully, it will play with the sound. Do stick with us. We need to invade? Well, raid mad. So give me a second. Sound should be fixed now. There you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, I wanted to set the tone. I'm never quite sure about how good I'd make these things, but Lena was very hype about it, so that was really cool. Okay, I have to go and find to go into this way to raid Mad if he's still on. I think he will hopefully still be on. It's been ages since I've done this. I've got to figure out how to do it now. Bloody forget. Okay. There we go. Found it. Alright, so very quickly before I raid, I want to say thank you to everybody who decided to take part. Let me just switch this over to the end screen. I'll say thank you to everybody who took part. I want to say thank you to everyone who wrote a match. I want to say thank you to everyone who came tonight and watched. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope it was as fun for you as it was for me. And I hope the fact that we've really given some great insight into the history of OSW with the roll-up before OSW even existed. Hope it all makes sense, and I hope you've enjoyed it all. Now let's go and raid Mad, so I will say goodbye. Let me just start this raid up. Let's get everybody over. There's a good 20 of us here. Let's go and make his day. So, looks like we're taking 17, I think. Pretty decent. So yeah, remember, if you haven't followed Mad, give him a follow. And do speak in his chat. Do say hi to him. He's a really nice guy. I met him a while back through the streaming thing. So yeah, please do say hello. Thanks for coming. And I will speak to you in the Discord.